Over 2,000 years ago, in the ancient city of Syracuse, lived one of the greatest mathematicians the world has ever known, Archimedes. He was a brilliant thinker who calculated the volume of a sphere and discovered an incredibly accurate value for a pi. But surprisingly, the story that made him famous began with a crown. The ruler of Syracuse, Hiram II, had commissioned a magnificent golden crown as a tribute to the gods. He provided a specific amount of pure gold to a skilled goldsmith and waited patiently for the mast. And the crown was beautiful, but the king had a troubling suspicion. What if the goldsmith had secretly mixed the gold with cheaper silver and kept some of the precious gold for himself? The crown could not be melted down for a testing it was meant for the gods. So the king turned to his trusted friend, Archimedes. Archimedes knew something important. Gold and silver have different densities. A piece of gold weighs almost twice as much as a piece of silver of the same size. But there was a problem. The crown was an irregular shape. No one knew how to measure its volume. Archimedes thought and thought and thought, but the answer would not come. One day, Archimedes went to the public baths to relax. As he stepped into the tub, something caught his attention. Water spilled over the edge. Suddenly, a realization struck him. The water that spilled out had the same volume as his body. And if you could measure the volume of the crown, you could calculate its density. That would reveal whether the crown was pure gold or a cheat. Overcome with excitement, Archimedes leapt out of the bath and ran through the streets shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" which means, "I have found it." Legend says he ran through the city completely naked in his excitement. Using his discovery, Archimedes compared the crown's volume and weight with that of pure gold. The result: the crown was lighter than it should have been. The goldsmith had indeed mixed in silver. The deception was exposed. This moment led Archimedes to another great discovery, the principle of buoyancy. It states that if the weight of water displaced by an object is greater than the weight of the object itself, the object will float. This principle still explains how ships float, submarines dive, and even how hot air balloons rise. Archimedes was so devoted to mathematics that he kept thinking about problems even during the chaos of war. Into 12 BC, when Syracuse was captured by Roman soldiers, Archimedes was busy drawing geometric diagrams in the sand. A soldier approached him and disturbed his work. Archimedes angrily shouted, "Do not disturb my circles." The soldier, not knowing who he was, killed him on the spot, and so ended the life of one of history's greatest minds. But his discoveries continue to shape science and engineering even today, from floating ships to modern physics, all thanks to a moment in a bathtub and a shout heard through history, "Eureka!"